Well, Gracie's gotten busy. Once she had her breakfast, she got right to it. She's got everything laid out here. Got the crock pot there. Got all the goodies to put our New Year's Day dinner all together and get it cooking while we watch the Rose Parade. Let's see what she's got out for us all. Woo! She's got us the good stuff. Conecuh cracked black pepper smoked sausage. Ooh, that's gonna be good. She got some celery, some whole carrots, a couple of potatoes, an onion, of course. Oh, and some of the fine classic sauerkraut, some chicken broth flavored on up, of course some pure ground black pepper, minced garlic from McCormick, some salt, some rosemary, of course some thyme. Woo, if we want to put a little bit of zip and make it slap our pants off, she's got to slap your mama out too. And of course, some caraway seeds. Ooh, that's quite a lot. Now, can we get it in the crock pot? So what do you think we're all up to? And what will we have on our New Year's Day dinner tonight? Maybe in the comments below the video, you'll tell me what you're having on your New Year's Day too, wherever you may be. Whew, she's got plenty out here for me to work with. I better get to it. Oh, well, hello there again, friends and family. So good to see you again here in the little old country kitchen. On January the 1st, 2025, imagine that. We made it through 2024, and now we got to look forward to a whole nother year ahead of us with so much more. And we're hoping it's going to be better than the year we had before. So hey, grab a cold drink and snack, pull up a chair, and let's see what we got cooking on this year in Mr. Tom's little old country kitchen. Okay? Well, the first thing we got to cut up is the potatoes. And we got two medium ones here. We're going to be cutting them up in, I guess, about 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch slices, just like this. It ain't hard. Take our ends and give them a little bit of dice. We're making home style. See what I mean? Throw them over there in our bowl. We're not doing any fancy knife tricks, you know, and we got the peels on. Went ahead and just washed them on up. That's what I'm saying. It's home style, and if you know anything, you'll know all the goodness is in the skins. So I tend to leave them on now more than I used to back when I was younger. And of course my mama, she always peeled them up too. And hopefully we'll be able to get all this in that crock pot. Stuff it on in, but you know, if you have any veg left over, you just put it in another dish, like a baking dish, and just cook them on up, set them in the fridge for later on. Don't take long to do all this. Just get your knife going, get some tunes on. Of course, I can't play no tunes with all of you here. YouTube don't like that. They want to make it bad for the channel. And I'm not gonna pay a subscription for music that we can all listen to. But this was something my great-grandmother made, and my grandmother made, and of course my mom, and now me. See those potatoes right there? Looking fine. Now we don't want them to get all nasty gray and black, so we're going to soak them in some water. And of course that'll also leach out the starch and make them all the more better for us. So we got our potatoes sitting right here in a nice bowl of filtered water. And you'll see it getting cloudier and cloudier as time goes on. We'll just set that over on the stove right there. Get some paper plates out, because next up we're going to chunk up some of these carrots. Here again, staying with the same size, you know, home style, that is. I love carrots. And I mean, it wouldn't always be in this dish. Sometimes they would, sometimes they wouldn't. See, the ladies in my family called this Pennsylvania Dutch SOS. And that's because the base recipe has sausage, onions, and sauerkraut. See? SOS. But then they'd often add things to it. And of course, the sausages they would normally use way back in the day would be something like Polish sausage, bratwurst, kielbasa, and such as that. I tend to prefer the smoked sausage, the Kaneka brand. Like I say, it's the good stuff. Carrots all chopped up, and there we go. We got them done too. Right there. Now we're going to need to get us out a little bit of celery. This is going to add some flavor to it. We don't need a lot. We're just going to get one stalk. And we'll give it a good rinse too. So we got our celery right here. And we're going to go with the same thing. This is for flavoring. More than anything, I just like the flavor celery gives to a soup or stew. Not that this is actually a soup or a stew. It's a little bit of both. See, that didn't take long. We just slide that on the plate. Makes it easier to incorporate and dump in to the crock pot later on. And now we got to manage the onion. So let me get it peeled. And we'll get to chopping it up too. Woo, that onion's starting to put some tears in my eyes. Let's just get it going on. Some coarse chop. Just like that. There we go. That's all it is to it. That one's trying to get away from us. Woo. I'm trying to get this onion done quick. Well, we're trying to get all this done quick so we can show y'all it doesn't take that long to do your prep work. And be careful with the knife, especially as we get older. Hands start to shake a little bit. You know how it is. And there, all the veg is all done up. Right there it is. Now all we gotta do is cut up that fine cracked pepper, smoked Kaneka sausage. Now the last thing we need to get prepped up is this fine smoked Kaneka sausage. And I got to remember to get some of this for the kitty crew. So don't let me forget and put it all in there. Nope. We're just going to get it sliced on up. Nice pieces. Oh, about a ½ inch or so thick. Cut them a little bit on the diagonal. Make it fancy, you know. Woo! If you ain't ever had Kaneka, you don't know what you're missing. No, you do not. And it needs to be cooked. So as you can see, you can just slice it up any way you want to. I'm being fancy today because it's New Year's Day. It's trying to get away from me there. You can see all those premium spices inside. That's what makes it so much better. Ooh, I can't wait. And it doesn't take that long. You know, actually cooking doesn't take that long at all when you really look at it, because you're seeing most of this in real time. Just what it takes to get it all done. And just like that, the sausage is all cut up. There we have it. Time to wash up. Now we're going to set our crock pot to high and let it preheat just a little while. Once it's preheated, we'll start slapping this all together in the crock pot. So we've got our crock pot all preheated, like you should do. Now comes the fun part, dumping it all in. The first thing we're going to add to the bottom of the pot is those chopped up onions and celery. Spread them out right in the bottom, just like that. Then we're going to take our carrots and drop them in. Not hard. Now we got to drain our potatoes right here. We'll be right back. We'll get them on in. So in with the potatoes we go. Starting to fill up. I hope we have enough room to get it all in there. Next, we're going to put in some sauerkraut. Now I've got a 32-ounce jar here, but I might not use it all. Mainly because we're running out of room. And the sauerkraut is really just for flavor. So we're going to drop about half of that jar on in there. Just like that, juice and all. And spread it on out. A little bit more. So that's going to give it a lot of flavor. See? About a half. Now we're going to dump in that fine Conecuh sausage right on top. And there's a method to my madness here. And we're just all going to give it a nice big scrunch down in it to get it all worked in. And the reason I put the sausage on last is because as it cooks, all that luscious flavor of that Conecuh sausage with its seasonings is going to permeate down through the sauerkraut, the potatoes, the carrots, the celery, and the onion. Woo, it's going to make it so good. Now we got to wash up because we got to add some chicken broth and season it on up. Always make sure you give your canned broth, or whether you've got canned broth or carton broth, shake it up. Now to add the broth. Woo, the whole can. Right on in there. Over the top of that sausage. Right like that. Now, the potatoes, the carrots, all of that, and the sauerkraut, they'll add to the chicken broth. Now the first thing I'm going to put in is the caraway seed. Now you don't have to do that, you don't want to. And we're just going to be putting in a teaspoonful of whole caraway seed. Sprinkle it in right on top, just like that. Next up, some of the McCormick mixed garlic. Another teaspoon of that fine minced garlic. Remember, a quarter of a teaspoon of minced equals a clove. So we're going to add, about another half for 6 cloves. A teaspoon of thyme. Woo, that's going to make it really be fine. A couple of shakes of this rosemary. You can see it sprinkling right on in. I'd say, oh, about a half a teaspoonful. And then a half a teaspoonful of pure ground black pepper. Now you might want to cut that down to a quarter if you don't like a lot of pepper. I do. And just to heat it up some, we're going to add in a half a teaspoonful of Slap Your Mama, just to give it a little bit of warmth. And there we have it, right there. Now I'm not going to add any extra salt right at this moment, because there's salt in the sausage, salt in the sauerkraut, and it might be enough. Remember, you can't take it out, so be careful about what you put in. So once it gets all cooked up, we can always taste it. And if it needs more salt, we can do it up then. And that's all there is to it, except get the lid on, right like that. And we're going to let that cook and percolate for about an hour or two on high, and then we're going to set her down on low for a couple hours more. So y'all just watch that and see the cooking going on. And once it gets to where it's almost done, we'll be back and give it a taste up. So our New Year's meal is already complete and cooking, and we can get on watching the Rose Parade or some more YouTube. Woo! If you could just smell this. This house smells so good. Let's look up in here at all this goodness right here. Now that's a crock pot full of connected sausage, potatoes, onions, some carrots, and sauerkraut. And I've already taste tested it, and the spices are just so nice. Ooh, you'll love it. It's full of warmth and just a little bit of spice. Well, that is if you like that peppery bite, like I do. But we got our bowl, got a ladle. It's time to get us a bowl and give it that final taste test. And let us tell you just how yummo this Pennsylvania Dutch SOS really is on this New Year's Day. Oh yeah, it's smelling good in the neighborhood. Reach right in there, just a big old ladle of it. Pop it right on in there. Oh yeah, it's looking fine. Let me show it to you all bowled up. Ooh, looky there, looky there. Doesn't that look mighty fine to you? I know it does to me. So, let's get us out a fork or a spoon, and let's put some in the old mouth and see if we can hold our pants on. Well, it's that time again to give it the final test and see if it's yummo. And we got a little bit of everything on this spoonful. Some potato, some carrot, sauerkraut, and sausage. Hey, life don't get no better than this. Mmm. Mmm. That is so yummo. It'll just about take your breath away. Packed with flavor. It's got that nice peppery bite and just enough heat to warm you up from the inside out. Ooh, and just the smell makes you know you came home. And if this don't bring back memories when your grandma and your mama were cooking all day while you were out somewhere on the job, the closer you got to home, the more you could smell it. And when you opened that door, you knew you were home. Yep, this is one of those. It's always going to remind you of coming home. And if this is any indication of what 2025 is going to be like, I'm thinking It's going to be a marvelous new year. So I'm starving to death, and it's getting late. So if you don't mind, I've got to run and eat. If you'd like something, there's plenty more in the old crock pot. Bowls are in the cupboard. Spoons are in the drawer. So tell I and Kitty Crew, you know them all. Cleo, Spooky, Heathcliff, Fluffy Muffin, Dusty. Oh, the Possum Posse. And of course, the Princess of the House. See you on that next episode of Mr. Tom's Neighborhood. Y'all take care. Stay safe out there. May God bless you all as you bless those in your lives. We love you for stopping by and all you do for us here too. Woo! With that said, it's going to be good night and goodbye for now. We gotta eat. Oh yeah, this is good. This will warm me up and fill me up and make life all good. Later all.